Can I hear you? Yeah.
Okay, good. Yo, what is up, everybody? Happy Friday. Oh, caught her off guard. Welcome to Takeover Lounge. It's Friday, 8 p.m. We here. Yo, y'all see the new logos on the side, on my side of the screen at least. You know, you see the Cartel Coffee. You got the shirt on. Show your merch real quick. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cartel the puppy. You feel me? So just in case y'all didn't know, this episode of the Takeover Lounge is brought to you by Cartel Coffee Labs, and we are out here sipping today on some Cartel coffee. I got a funny story for y'all that happened
Oh
yesterday.
no.
Before we get into the guests and before we roll the intro, I feel like we should tell this story real quick. So yesterday we made our way to Cartel Coffee, and it's my first time having real coffee. So I have Dutch Bros, I had Starbucks, I had my fair share of things. But I asked Daniela, I was like, "Yo, what did you get?" And Daniela proceeded to tell me what she got and what was it?
A dirty chai latte.
A dirty chai latte. And she told me it had 2 shots of espresso in there. Me being who I
One
am,
shot. I didn't say
no,
two.
there was 2 in that. There was 2 in there. But with with that being said, I had no idea what espresso is. So this is like my first time, my first coffee endeavor. So I go up to the lovely employee that was working there yesterday, and no, I told her I want the dirty chai latte, and she recommended that for me because from Dutch Bros I get pretty much similar order, but it's white coffee and no espresso. So I'm drinking this thing, it's smooth, everything's fine, like I'm chilling. We get in, get out. I go back to my car, and I'm just like hyper focused. Like I'm just zoned in to like whatever's on my phone. It's ridiculous. I'm like emailing back and forth to people. I'm texting, I'm Snapchatting, I'm Instagramming. I'm like, yo, what am I doing? And this goes on for like, I want to say until like 6:30 at night. Like I'm hyper focused. Like you told me to do a task, it was done like before you even said it. So right at like 7:30 I get Popeyes, and I told Daniela, I was like, yo, this coffee is going right through me. Yo, I'm like, this might be TMI for some of y'all, but that espresso got to me. But it was, and this was Danielle, and she snapped me, and she was like, "You do realize coffee is a diuretic, correct?" And I was like,
Oh my
"I didn't know it
god.
hit like that. That hit like a laxative on like and I'm lactose intolerant too, so I had whole milk in my dirty chai latte. So that was just the cherry on top. But that is nobody's fault at Cartel Coffee. That is me being me and just rolling with the sacrifices. But today, shout out Daniela for putting me on some espresso. I say espresso, but
Oh
espresso.
my god.
I hope the people back home are watching this and they're like, "Yo, this is crazy. What did I just walk into?" But Cartel Coffee, you know the vibes. Uh, Daniela, what you sipping on today for the show?
The dirty chai latte.
So I opted out of the dirty chai
Oh,
latte today, but I decided to get the chai tea with some almond milk. So I'll be okay for tomorrow and tonight. I can sleep.
there you
I will.
go.
I will sleep fine tonight. I didn't go to bed until like 4:30 a.m. last night. So with that being said, we got a special guest with us today, and she is rocking it. She's killing everything she does. So before we do that, and also she's doing a special performance for us today. Instead of the couch halftime show, we're gonna have uh her perform a song for us. So that's gonna be lit. So before we get into that, we're gonna run this intro, and we'll be back with our special guest.
Support for the Takeover Lounge is provided by the Arts Foundation for Tucson and Southern Arizona, funded by the City of Tucson and Pima County, with additional support from the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona. Welcome to the Takeover Lounge.
Yo, welcome to the lounge. We are back. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, we're doing well. We're happy to have you on the show. Thanks for making time out of your day to do this.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Did you hear all that story? Did you hear the story about what happened?
Yes, I was over here laughing.
I was like, I was debating whether or not to share this story tonight, but I was like, we had to just for the
Oh
for the
my God.
sponsorship and just
Yeah.
know what was up.
You had to.
So
Oh,
you know what?
goodness.
Welcome to Takeover Lounge. We're gonna have Daniela kick it off like she normally does on a Friday evening for us.
Mhm. All right, Tora. The first question is, what is your favorite? What is your favorite way to reconnect with yourself?
To reconnect with myself. Oh, I really love meditation is always a good way to kind of recenter yourself. And I love taking baths and kind of getting some aromatherapy going and making some herbal tea and kind of sometimes even I'll write something, write some
Wow.
music. But yeah.
That's nice. I feel like I could use a bath. I mean, I don't have the capabilities, but it sounds pretty peaceful. I never have done it, but I feel like it's an experience in itself.
Yeah.
You use the Epstein's what is it?
Oh yeah. Epsom
Oh,
salt.
yeah,
Bath.
that's
Mhm.
awesome.
Oil.
What's your favorite kind of like smell that you use? I love like lavender and vanilla. Like that's my favorite combo. I don't know why.
Good. I really love lang lang,
I'm not
and
familiar.
it's like a type of flower, and then
Okay,
also
one.
jasmine.
Mm.
That's really nice.
And with aromatherapy, do you know what those like help with? Like, is it anxiety? Like, is it supposed to like de-stress you or?
Yeah, it's kind of like a de-stressor. It does a lot of stuff with kind of easing your stress and tension and all of that, helping
That
you
makes
sleep even. Like
yeah.
lavender is great. I have this lavender spray that I spray on my pillows at night, kind of helping
Mhm.
in my sleep.
That's awesome. Because
Yeah.
we talk a lot about mental health here on this show, which is really strange because we never like intended for that to be the case.
Yeah.
But I love going to Bath and Body Works, getting that lavender stuff. It's just really like that's my guilty pleasure. Like Bath and Body Works, that's where I'm at.
Hmm.
So where are you from? Tucson,
That's true.
correct?
Well, I grew up in Tucson, but I was actually born in LA.
Oh, nice. So now you're back home, correct? In LA.
Yeah, well, sort of. Like I'm
Okay.
living in the Bay Area in Alameda, but like most of my work is in LA. So
Okay. So it made sense for you to move out to Cali so you can be out there. That's dope. I want to know like what got you into music?
I was very young. It was before I even remember. And my mom tells stories of me trying to mimic Mariah Carey on the radio. And, um, I kind of just taught myself how to sing and eventually wanted to perform and do all of that. So,
Do you remember what song like you were trying to sing, belt out Mariah Carey song?
I remember the first song that I performed of hers was Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Make It Happen was another one back in the day.
That's awesome.
There's Got to Be a Way. That was one too.
Mhm.
Awesome. What I read in like I was not to be weird or anything, but I was talking through your Instagram doing some research, because I'm a journalist. I got on my journalist bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm a journalist.
Oh,
we're gonna call it we're gonna have that a segment. When I say that, we're just gonna have a sound effect that goes off and it's
yeah.
like journalist Zion Givens in his journalist bag. But you said you had like a lot of like things you were into when you're young. Like it was I think it was auto repairs and it was music, dancing, acting. So what would you say like helped you navigate towards all those things?
Um, my mom's openness and acceptance of everything that I was interested in. She was like, "Oh, you want to do this? You want to see this? You want to do this? You want to try this?"
Mhm.
Everything that I said that I wanted to be or try or do, she made it possible for me.
That's
And she was
awesome.
like, she just wanted me to figure out what my biggest passion was and what I eventually wanted to do for the rest of my life. So
I think that's so helpful. Like, it's so awesome to have a parent like that or an individual. Like, wow. Because, a lot of parents are just like, pick one thing, stick to it for the rest of your life, and don't even worry about anything else. But it's just so cool to hear you and your mom's like relationship. And it was like, oh, you want to do this? All right, let's do it. You know what I mean? So it's so cool.
Um, where is it? Hold on. So since you got into like the whole automotive and the race, you raced a race car, didn't you?
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So do you still want to own your own auto shop by like in
Oh
the
yeah.
future, or is it an angle for you?
Yeah, I definitely still want to do that. Unfortunately, I had to sell my Mustang that I had,
Mm.
but I definitely plan on doing that in the near future. It's just like it's a money pit, so you
Yeah.
have to really be able to support that hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Keep it on, or you're gonna end up with a chop shop in the back with a bunch of stuff that doesn't run. You know what I mean?
Right. You're like,
Yeah.
what
You're
did I need?
trying to get to like do something and it's just like dead end. But yeah, I definitely want to expand that in the future. I just have to, get the money.
Definitely. Definitely. That's so sick. What was it like racing a car? Like, what's that experience like?
Well, it's very thrilling. It's very, if you love adrenaline rushes, it's
Mm.
definitely something of the sort. But yeah.
So did you start like actually getting into cars like while you're here in Tucson?
Yeah, well, my mom moved to Tucson when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
And then I grew up there ever since. We always went back to California. We always went to Disneyland and like stuff
Right.
out in California. But I was I might have been about like 6 or 7 when I started playing with Hot Wheels a lot. Like it was
Okay.
a thing, I was collecting them and I had a big old like bin of Hot Wheels. And I had this, do you remember those like, they were almost like area rugs, but they had little cities
Yes.
on them
Yes.
and all
Yep.
that. I used to like, I was like, I'm illegal street racing around the firehouse and the police station. I'm like, whoa! Yeah, so that was the start.
That's awesome. But like where do you get start like where do you just pick up that hobby from? Like do you like where can I if I wanted to like race a car or get into like
Oh
racing
no.
cars, how would I go about doing that? Like here in
I
Tucson?
would probably first take the automotive technology program through PIMA. So you get the knowledge that you need for to have and build a race car, because I was like, it was a project for me. I bought this race car and I was like, I'm gonna build it, I'm gonna like reconstruct it and do all these things. It's gonna be a project for me, so that was the purpose. um so you definitely have to gain the knowledge of what you're doing and make sure that you know how to maintenance comes first. It's the most
Right.
important. And then you start learning how to build an engine. You start learning how to build the suspension, how to strengthen it. If you want to do like drifting or something, you probably have to strengthen the suspension.
Wow.
um but yeah, I would definitely first start with classes and then
For sure.
and then
Work with
get a little project car, get some parts and try to
Ooh. Danielle knows where my head's at. Like she's gonna be all mad. She's about to say, "Oh my gosh, you're taking these classes?" Like, yeah, I'm just gonna try it.
No.
That's too funny. Do you remember like back to the music thing? Because I mean, we love talking about cars, but you like hone in on music. Like you're so incredibly talented, and
Thank
you know
you.
you were on American Idol, X Factor. You've done things with like a lot of celebrities. But I want to go back way back to like your first performance ever. Like, do you remember like what that was like for you, and what song you were singing?
Oh, I think I was 4 years old, and gosh, I think I was singing this. Oh my gosh, what was it called? Um, it was a song I think by Sunny, and it
Mm-hmm.
was oh my gosh, I think it was something about the summer. I cannot even remember. Um, but if I look it up, I'll
Right.
send it to you. I'm gonna
Please,
I'll
please.
ask my mom. I'll be like, what was that song? So that was probably the very first song I ever performed, and it was actually with a little performing like youth group. It was like
Oh
this
wow.
nonprofit organization, and they like taught kids how to like sing and dance, and we
That's
did
awesome.
like little medleys of old school songs and stuff like that. And yeah.
That's tight. What was like, when did you know like, yo, I can actually sing and make this a career? Like when was that like a thought?
Probably when I was about 10 years old and I
Oh
made
wow.
my first like real EP, like CD, and
Wow.
like we did a little. My mom and I did like this little photo shoot, and I went in the real studio and recorded these songs, and
Dang.
they were
At 10?
covers. Yeah, they were
Wow.
covers, but like I did the studio thing, and I was like, this is really like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though I wanted to do all this other stuff on the side, I was like, this is like gonna be my main thing, and then I'll
Right.
have like these little like side hustles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Collect the bag in any way you can.
You
Go
know?
for it. Multiple streams of income. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know? But that's sick. But do you remember like going into like the recording studio at a young age, like at 10, and you were just like, whoa, like were you taken back, or was it just like, oh, I can get used to this, or what was it?
It was kind of like just like an upgrade to like what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom had got me this little recorder, and I used to like, back in the day they had the cassette tape players, like the big
Mm-hmm.
ones, and you could like record.
Right.
So I would do that all the time, and I would record all kinds of things, stupid songs. I think when I was like 4 or 5, I wrote this song about guinea pigs, because I used to have all these guinea pigs and stuff, and they kept having babies, and I like loved guinea pigs, and I wrote this
That's funny.
song about it. And yeah, I used to like mess with the recorders all the time, and I was like, when I got to the studio, I was like, wow, this is like an upgrade.
Like we can actually do the work.
Right. I'm like, okay, this is what I need.
Nice. That's funny you bring up the cassette tapes and recorders, because Chazelle was telling us, one of our guests before, she used to do that over her mom's tapes, like her Queen Latifah tapes, and her mom would be so mad, be like, why am I hearing my daughter's voice on Queen Latifah? So did you do that at all? Did you get your mom's tapes, or
No. My mom used to buy me the big old bulk packs of like.
oh, you were set.
Oh yeah, like, well, most of the tapes that I have that had other people on it were like my the ones I like. Like I had a Selena cassette tape. I had
wow.
a cassette tape. I had all these different like dope cassette tapes. So I wouldn't want to. I don't even think I ever even tried to record.
Yeah, you're like, not mine, not my tapes.
Yeah.
I feel you.
How would you define success as a musician or artist?
Say that one more time.
How would you define success as a musician or an artist?
Success is really in the eye of the beholder.
Mm-hmm.
It really it depends on what your goals are and what your dreams are, really. I think that success has a lot to do with reaching your goals and reaching your dreams and your aspirations. Yeah, I think there's no specific, I mean, there might be like a specific line of success when it comes to how other people view you, but
Mm,
I think success
Mm.
really only has to do with what you view of yourself personally, and if you're satisfied with what you've done and how you've done it.
definitely. What would you say like been most successful for you?
Um, I think the most successful for me is probably gaining the knowledge in the industry to be able to not only protect myself, but know that I'm comfortable being an independent artist, whether I,
Mhm.
hit mainstream or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, so, whether I'm like on the radio and getting paid millions of dollars for tours, like sure, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
To be able
Mhm.
to financially be successful in that way and being able to kind of live off of my music. That's definitely part of the dream. But
Right.
in all of reality, I've done so much, I've seen so much, I've like been all over the world. I've
Mm,
been able to perform my original music. I've fought for my original music. I right now with the University of Arizona program I'm in right now is a law program.
right.
So, just getting the knowledge and being able to be a strong, independent musician, whether I
Mm-hmm.
decide to sign a contract or not,
Right.
Mhm.
being able to back myself is most important.
I think that's so cool that you're going to like you're educating yourself to be successful in the field that you're in. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's hard, you know what I mean? Like they make the industry makes it seem like it's so easy and okay, yeah, we'll give you 3.5 million. Okay, there you go, but you don't really know what you're signing until you read it, and you're like,
Mhm.
what?
People don't
So
even know what they're reading when they're reading that type of language. It's a
Mhm.
exactly.
it's wild.
Right. So I think it's that like I said, kudos to you. I mean, that's awesome that you're just really educating yourself. And then in turn, you're like taking it out and sharing with others, with other artists, be like, this is what I learned, this is what I'm doing. Like, just look out for these. So I think that's cool. And did that come from like being burned on the back end with a bad deal one time?
Oh, definitely. More than one time.
Oh wow.
It all started with my very first contract I signed when I was 18. And
Mm,
that's when I really dealt with almost all of the craziness in the industry when it comes to the drugs,
mm,
the harassment from men, and you know the attempt of being pushed into something in return for something else that you're not willing to give.
right.
And so, I had to get out of that contract. I had to get a lawyer and I had to, do all this stuff to get out of that contract. So,
Mm,
um,
Mhm.
that was like one of the first experience in the industry was one of the craziest experiences,
oh man.
and I had moved out to LA to like fulfill that contract and do all that, from Arizona.
Wow.
That was when I, first really moved out of my mom's house, like for real, for real.
Hmm.
And then, I immediately went into another contract with the people that kind of helped me get out of that contract. And then similar situations happened with that. But not necessarily the harassment side, but on the side
Right.
of like they tried to steal all my music that I created with them, and they tried to steal all of my like belongings that I had that I moved into their studio. There was like all this crazy stuff. So, I was signing all these contracts and, at the same time, I'm like a, young
Right.
teens, but still super young and not knowing what I'm doing. And I'm over here like my mom's like, don't sign it. Like let's
Mm,
let whoever like review it. But I'm
Mhm.
over here like these fools have like a Phantom for me to drive, a Ferrari, a R8, like literally
right.
for me to just like pick and drive whenever I want. I'm 18, 19.
Right.
I'm like, I'm gonna sign this contract. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I ended up having to get a lawyer to get out of it again because I
Mhm.
signed something that I didn't read fully. And
Hmm.
at the end of the day, that's my fault. I
Yeah.
got myself into these effed up situations and had to get out of them somehow. And of course, my mom was right there, like helping me, and
Mhm.
she spent a lot of money on lawyers, and
Right.
and at the same time, I'm like, dang, like if I would have known, if I would have just done the research and dug enough for me to know the language of a contract,
Mhm.
or to know that like I need to be patient and submit it to a lawyer, or submit it to somebody, have somebody read it who knows what they're reading.
Right.
I could have avoided so much,
Yeah.
so much. And those are only like the two first situations I got into. Like there's so many, I had to sue BOB, like there's all kinds of stuff
Wow.
I got into and that wasn't my fault. That situation was contractually
Mm.
by him.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, I can't imagine only being like 18 and that's like your first like taste of the industry. You're like, now I gotta get a lawyer. Hold on, I just signed this deal. Now I gotta sue. Like, whoa.
mhm.
And then was it like, did it leave a bad taste in your mouth for a while? Were you like, oh man, I don't think this music thing is where I want to go. Now it's dealing with it.
No, I kind of did the opposite. I
Oh,
was
okay.
like, I'm gonna get up in this and like mess people up. Like I'm in here, like let me up in here, like I'm make it now.
Right.
Regret that. Like I was pissed.
I could imagine. I could see you walking into a record label and be like, yo, where the F is my money? Yo, all y'all, forget y'all. I could definitely see that for you. Because you know what you want. Like I feel like you're like ambitious and you know what you need and what you have to offer, and you're not gonna let people just step over you. So that's awesome. I love that.
Thank you.
Of course.
That's
I mean,
important. It's important to be, a knowledgeable, strong artist, especially if you're gonna choose to be independent. That's
yeah,
the number one thing, is to know your shit and know what you're doing.
definitely. When did you know, like, yo, I'm actually doing really good on this independent side of things? When did you get that realization?
Well, there were actually stages
Okay.
of my independent situation.
Right.
The very first time I like split from something to do like my music,
Mhm.
I actually got my GED when I was 15.
Oh wow.
And that I was having a lot of trouble at the same time in high school. I was getting bullied, and it was like I couldn't handle it emotionally. I was like starting to, like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
Blow up,
Right.
So my mom and I made an agreement that if I got my GED, passed it, and focused full time on my music and got a job, then I could get my GED. So I was like, done.
Right.
And, I got it. I did it. That's when I auditioned for American Idol. I was like 15 and a half or something when I auditioned for American Idol. And then, just kind of pushed that. And then I had actually gotten into rock bands. So I actually joined my first rock band on the non-independent side.
Really?
I think I was 16 when I first started that.
Wow.
And then that kind of was steady for like 3-4 years. And then I had a rock band that got actually pretty popular. And then everyone kind of got into some bad stuff, and it just like blew up. And
right.
my boyfriend, they ended up jumping my boyfriend because they thought he was getting in the way. And like,
whoa, wait a minute.
Okay, side story. No.
Yes, please.
So that made me go independent after the rock band situation, and that's when I was about 18.
Okay.
I moved to LA and like signed and like did all that.
Okay.
So that was the second independent situation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of started doing some things with producers for a while, doing like 50-50 with producers. And then I got screwed over really badly by this guy. He took like all my music, and I only had a copy of like 3 of the songs. We did like 20 songs.
Wow.
I don't even have like the written music. I don't have anything for it. So I don't even know. Like some of it, I don't even really remember what notes they were. And
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, man, I gotta figure this garage band shit out myself. Like, what
Right.
am I doing? So, I started rehearsing piano, getting back into piano because I got injured, so I kind of stopped playing piano and guitar for a while.
Okay.
And it's really hard for me to play guitar because I have nerve damage. But I got back into piano. It was easier to get back into.
Right.
And then just kind of, I was like, if there's a band that wants to come with me on this, then we'll do it. But if not, I can do it myself. And that was
right.
so.
That's dope. That's real. I like how you said there were stages, because there definitely were stages to this thing.
Yeah.
So where are you at?
Stages, like there's. Like
I'm about to ask you right now. What stage are you at right now as we speak?
Well, I mean, I went through a stage where I moved to Miami, after X Factor. I got picked up by another label, moved to Miami, did the label thing again.
Right.
That actually was an amazing experience. Every part of it was amazing experience. It was a 1-year contract, and we were going to renew it. And the guy who owned the label, he had a heart attack. And he lived, but he just didn't. I mean, it was not healthy for him to continue the thing that was bringing the most stress, and running a label. And so we had this other business. He kind of went back full time to, and focused on that and his kids.
Right.
So, unfortunately, that would have been a dope situation to be like 5 years in. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's like, if it's not meant to be, or something, your destiny is gonna pan out how it's gonna pan out, and
definitely
follow the yellow brick road.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
What did you like about that record deal?
I had all the creative control. I was able to freely write in a studio with top line producers. That's and good. I could write whatever I wanted, record whatever I want. I had as many hours as I wanted. I slept there sometimes. They were paying for a 2-bedroom house for me to stay in by myself.
Wow.
It was Miami. I was.
You're like, it's Miami.
I was 22.
Right.
It was Miami. I was 22. Was doing some things. I was all night going to Ultra, going to, all these clubs. It was the club scene. I was getting paid to go to these clubs and perform and do all this, thing. And I did a radio tour. My music made it to top 40 radio. It was spinning.
Wow.
I saw the most of my exposure, that type of success through that
deal,
that time in my life.
Right.
So I was really living it up.
Oh yeah. You're like, I can't be mad at this.
It's, that's when I did the song with Jim Jones and
right.
And that's when I opened for Flow Rider and Pink and Method Man.
Wow.
So it was just like the highlight of my whole career. X Factor was like, around here, but that once after X Factor hit and I got picked up, it just took off.
Definitely.
So, and then there was a stage of me kind of having to refine myself, and I kind of got super depressed after that contract ended, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know how to do this by myself like that. Like,
right.
The way doing it, I was like, I don't know. Like, what?
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I just woke up from this, like, the Matrix.
Yes.
That, like,
I gotta do this myself now?
Yeah. So there was this weird stage of, like, trying to find producers. Like, like, do I want to do a producer thing? Do I want to do a live band thing? I kind of wanted to do a live band thing. But then, I got so tired of relying on other people that just end up flaking out on you. And I did so many shows by myself because people like didn't show up and stuff. Like you've been rehearsing with for months, just didn't show up to the big show you've been rehearsing with the whole time. Yeah, and it's like, and it's there's no logic in it. And,
right.
I'm just like, I can't rely on anybody else, and
Exactly.
who I'm relying on can't do the things I need right now in
Mm-hmm.
situation. So it's like,
Yeah, you're
out.
like
It's on that. Like,
exactly.
I'm like singing to a track that's all cheesy. I'm like, what is karaoke night and shit? And like, oh god.
I feel you. I hear you.
Oh, I guess I didn't even answer your question.
No.
Right now, that was your initial question.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Go ahead, tell us because now you remembered. But I love the story you were telling anyway.
Well, I've been kind of doing the school thing. So my dad actually had a heart attack back in 2016, and I went through this thing with him. Like, he married some crazy lady who tried to like fight me on me. I wouldn't go to church with them. Like, it was weird. So I ended up going, like, leaving, and he ended up seeing that I was right, and he filed for divorce and did all that and wanted me to come back and help him because my one of my sisters lived there and she was moving out, so he was alone and he kind of needs to be watched over a little bit.
Right.
So I ended up moving back in with him. When was it? I think it was like 2 years ago now.
Okay.
About 2 years ago in January. And I kind of have been focusing on school and kind of trying to get it out of the way. And at the same time, I've been writing a lot and releasing some things. And I've been working with this new, I don't really have a full team, but I have these 2-3 people that have been kind of working with me on the videos, the mixing and mastering of my stuff. So I'm
awesome.
kind of in this stage of definite independence, but I'm still kind of like shopping for different opportunities that are right for me. And right. For me. So
yeah, that's dope. That makes sense. It's like you come off from like that, like you said, that record label high, and then now you're like a student again, and you're like trying to do, yeah. Right. Like, did I make the right decision? Like, I don't know what's happening right now, but you're killing it, obviously. I mean, you're still here, you're still doing the damn thing. So so before we get into your performance, we want to ask you the epic question, the most epicness question that we got for y'all. And this is Daniela's alley right here. So I'll let Daniela do that.
So, if you could pick any superhero power, what would it be and why?
Oh. I don't know if this would count. This might be cheating.
Okay.
You can tell me. But my superpower would be the ability to do anything at any time.
Anything at any time.
I could fly. I could read minds. I could
superhero,
do anything at any time. Right? Is that a thing?
Daniela's saying yes. I'm just trying to picture.
I feel like that's like the ultimate superhero power, right? You can do everything.
Right.
Is that like kind of like Superman type of thing? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I can't remember. Can he read minds? I don't know if he can read minds.
No, he can't read minds, but nah, he can't read minds. But you would be able to read minds, so that makes you superior to Superman. So, yo, that's a good one.
I'm like, can I get a hot tub?
the whole Kazam thing, man. That's too funny.
Okay, that's gonna work.
Oh man, that's too funny. So are you all set to perform for us?
Yeah, I'm all set to get some things.
Let's do it. We're gonna downsize right here. We'll be small and you'll be big, so everybody can see that. I like how she slid out right there. That was a good one. Oh, Daniela's big, and I'm small.
I was confused.
She's like, oh. There she goes. I'm excited for this. Oh, what? Hey, I didn't know that was a piano under there. I thought it was a sofa.
Oh,
This is a little one, so I don't have like the full 80 keys, but
That was like a magic trick. She just like unveiled it real quick. I was like, whoa, she changed it into. I was like, she just hit her magic trick. Cool. What's the name of this song that you're performing for us today?
I'll do one of my new songs. Actually, it just released on New Year's.
Oh, nice.
It's called Eclipse. There's also a music video out for it, and my next music video for my song America will be out on this Sunday.
Woo, boo, 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 boo. Air horns. Sounds great.
All right, so this is Eclipse.
Let's do it.
How does this work? Impossible. I'm perfect love and too hard to go. Back up, I can't get too close. My heart breaks again, it's gonna explode. I just mine. I feel right. Don't worry about any of this, only tonight. So come watch me like you watch an eclipse, bathe in candlelight. Ignite the fire between you and I. Forget about your worries. Turn the lights out, there's about to be an eclipse. Dust to daylight. Dust till daylight, light, light, light. Never thought I'd fall in love again. I was losing a lot, just saying. Sorry, I never gave you the benefit of the doubt when we first met. I just might, yeah. I feel right. Don't worry about any of this, only tonight. So come watch me like you watch an eclipse, bathe in candlelight. Ignite the fire between you and I. Forget about your worries. Turn the lights out, there's about to be an eclipse. Dust till daylight. How does this work? Impossible. Oh, anything is possible, possible.
Damn. That was good.
Thank you.
Do you want to do another one?
Oh, I can if you want me to.
I mean, if you want to, but before you do that, I want to just know, like, what was the What was like what's the meaning to that song, and what's like the creative process for you to write that?
Well, that song's kind of like it's kind of like me talking to future love and saying, you know, I have all these insecurities, I have all these like issues, and I might run away for a second, but you just gotta pull me back in, and you know.
Right. Exactly. I love it. I love it. Do you want to do one more for us?
Yeah, I can do more.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I was like, it was so good. I didn't want it to stop.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. I think I'll do. Let's see.
I know I just put you on spot, so I'm sorry.
No, I think I'll do the video that is coming out.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
On Sunday. Although I might have to just bring the lyrics
Oh.
And like some of my you did ask about my writing process. Some of my writing processes are like super random, and in the studio, when I get into the studio, I actually end up freestyling a bunch. And I end up liking what I do, but then I have to learn what I did.
Right.
Freestyle, and I'm like, I don't know what I did. So
understandable.
You know, I've been practicing and stuff, but I'm like, this one, you know, I'm still kind of learning a little bit of the second verse.
It's all good. We get the behind the scenes access right here. This is an exclusive. This song with that.
Yeah, hilarious. Okay. So this one is called America. It's kind of about everything that's happened pretty much since America existed.
Yeah.
All of the like crazy corruption, the traumatic events, the colonization, the racism, the brutalities, the prejudice. Like I could go on literally for like 10 hours about how much craziness. And this is kind of like, you know, I was born in America. I love my country. And there's always, you know, pros and cons about every relationship. And so this is kind of like my love song to America, especially with these past events that have happened in, you know, the past recent events in the past couple of years. So, and then this music video is coming out on Sunday, on Valentine's Day. So
perfect.
I don't mess it all up for you.
No, it's all good.
Okay. Fighting back in American death, I just don't know where I started. Take a stand, whether woman or man, you just can't get what you wanted. I'm beginning to feel an emotion. What the hell happened to all the really explosions? We lost track of where it fell out of whack, and we're losing all our logic. Oh, 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 what happened to America? Whoa, 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 I'm giving it all I got. Getting stuck in all this corruption, and I'm about to lose it. If you had a little more love to give, it would free you from such anguish. I'm beginning to feel an emotion. What the hell happened to all the really explosions? Killing sex has you falling off track, and this is quite outlandish. Whoa, 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 what happened to America? Whoa, whoa.
Oh, the man. He's in here. The voice.
There he is.
Amazing. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
So the music video to that is dropping Sunday,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you want to just pack that up real quick and then we can reconvene?
Yeah.
No problem. I have more questions. That's why I was like,
Oh, cool. I don't have it back.
her magic trick back. Okay. It's not a magic trick, ladies and gentlemen. It's just oh, now it's gone. While she's doing that, we want to say shout out to Cartel Coffee. You know what I'm saying? One time sponsoring today's interview. I know. I emailed her. I DM'd her and it was like, "Yo, we want to get you some coffee for Cartel." And she's like, "Oh, I'm not in Arizona right now." I was like, "Ah."
Amazon has an overnight service.
Like, come on now, it's 2021. I should be able to get it overnight. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Amazing. Yo, Cartel Coffee is really good, but their tea, this chai tea that I'm sipping on today, really, really good. Almond milk.
I tell you.
So when you come back to Arizona, Tora, you got to try that out. Definitely.
Yeah, well, definitely.
If they make good coffee and tea, it should be illegal. That's why it's called Cartel. So,
Yes,
y'all can, they can take that one from me as long as they pay me afterwards. So Tora, let's I want to talk about you auditioning for X Factor and American Idol. And what was that like for you?
It was definitely interesting. And it, my very first competition audition like that was actually Star Search when I was 13.
Oh wow!
My mom and I flew out to Chicago for those auditions. The auditions were in Chicago. We flew out and did that. I didn't make it. I was like too shy at that time. I was like, I'm competing for something like, and yeah, but then I think my next one after that was American Idol when I was like 15 and a half. That was pretty cool. We actually went to Vegas for that audition. It was in 2005, I want to say.
Okay.
It was the year that Taylor Hicks won.
Okay.
And what's funny is that I was sitting next to Taylor Hicks during that audition, the cattle call audition process when we're sitting like in line.
Wow.
And he was super nice person. But yeah, that was an interesting time because Simon Cowell told me that he didn't think America was ready for me yet, and he told me no. But the other judges told me yes, so I ended up making it to Hollywood.
Right.
So that was interesting. I kind of got like exploited in the Rolling Stone magazine for like American Idol rejects and shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting feeling. And then I went on to do X Factor, and I told the whole story of American Idol, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't want to talk about that whole situation." Like,
okay.
They didn't want to associate Simon with American Idol at all. They didn't want to like.
Oh wow!
That she was associated with them. They were like, "We are trying to be our own thing. We're not trying to have it like combined."
Right.
So although he remembered me,
he did.
were allowed to act like he remembered me. It's kind of like a weird thing.
Well, he did a bad job at that. Acting like he didn't. He did a bad job acting like he didn't know you. Because when you came up and you did your performance, he was like, "Oh, I remember you." Like he did the whole thing, and I was like, "Now you saying that it's like he did not follow protocol." But
yeah,
how could he? I mean, when he hears you, like you have a distinct sound, like, and you're good, so it makes sense. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off in your story. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it though. It was interesting, definitely being on X Factor, because I was really able to see a lot more of that competition firsthand, the way things are done for reality TV like that. It's very edited and it's very processed. Like the information. So there's so much information that like they're able to manipulate about what you're saying and what they're asking you and how they're asking it, and it's like they make you seem like a different person than you actually were during the interviews, because they're over here cutting and pasting all this stuff to make you seem a certain different way.
That's strange. You know, I had like a weird suspicion that's what was happening, but now you just like you said it, so now I'm like, okay, reality TV, not really reality.
There was so much stuff that they cut out of my stuff. I probably did like 10, 15 auditions during X Factor, because going through all those rounds and all those processes, especially during boot camp, that they didn't air of mine because they knew that America was gonna choose me, and they didn't want me to be chosen. So they sabotaged me on purpose in order to get the result that they wanted within the competition.
Is that manipulative?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I be watching those shows. I'm like, oh, see, that guy's a cool guy right there. Like, but maybe it's like just the editing production to it. They're like, we want this America to feel for this. They want them to tear jerk or for, you know what I'm saying? So, wow, that is the harsh reality of reality TV. It's not. It's like when I figured out WWE was fake when I was younger. It's not. That's
right.
Now you just did that for me.
It's like magic. It's like Santa Claus isn't real.
Exactly the feeling. I was like, I just saw this dude jump off a ladder. What are you talking about? This is not real. Like, hello? Oh man, that's crazy though. What other projects are you working on right now? I mean, you're dropping America Sunday. Anything else?
And, on July 4th, I'm dropping a song called Anaerobic. Not the song, the video to Anaerobic.
Okay.
There's the Anaerobic, America, and Eclipse are all on an EP that on New Year's.
Okay.
And so I'm just kind of in the process of dropping each of those videos one at a time.
Nice.
And then I'm also working on some other new songs, a few new songs. I'm hoping to do another little EP at some point this year.
Nice.
But,
right.
Yeah, other than school and, I've been doing a lot of like acting work and stuff here in LA. It's been paying my bills. So,
right.
Yeah, what I
Can you say anything that you've been like that you auditioned for acting wise?
Well, I haven't actually done an audition in a long time. I kind of just my portfolio and they hire me.
She got it like that, y'all. She don't even have to audition. What are you talking about, Zion? What are you talking about, Z? Come on.
I just did. Actually, I just did some stand-in work actually for a whole season of the Kaminsky Method, the third season.
Damn.
So that was pretty cool. I actually, in the past, like a few years ago, I did a couple episodes on Ballers. I did Foster's, Speechless. Did a few commercials.
Danielle's gonna ask. Go ahead and ask, Danielle. You heard Ballers. Go ahead and ask.
I did some on my
Danielle's gonna ask. She's gonna be like, did you meet The Rock and Ballers?
Yeah.
Did you?
He's super nice. He's super huge, super nice. We were laughing about how different the weather is from mine to his.
Danielle's not jealous. She's like, I can't even talk no more. Like, now you know Tora, so she can get you in with The Rock now. Hopefully.
Tora.
I mean, if I had his personal contact, I'd
make it happen. I wish.
That's awesome, man. Danielle, you got anything else you want to add or ask?
There's one thing. You were a dancer, right?
Yeah. I still am. Yeah.
So what was kind of your transition from dancing? Like what kind of styles did you do? But what was your deciding factor that you want to just focus more on music?
Well, dancing was always kind of in the background. I always just did dancing when, when I could, if I have a full band or something behind me and I don't have to sit at a piano, I'll totally do some dancing. Or if I'm doing like the club tours, then I have, a couple backup dancers where I'm dancing. And there's a lot of videos of me opening for Flowrider and all those different performances where I had, and I choreographed all those shows and all of that. And I actually did a full tour of China for 3 months. And I choreographed the dances for that. And I was singing and dancing at the same time. So it's kind of always coincided with each other, the music and the dancing. It just really depends on whether I have to sit at a piano or if I can, if I have, what type of music I'm doing. If I'm doing a bunch of slow, intimate ballads, and I might not be, dancing as much as if I'm, doing a club show with like all my, more pop songs, whatever. But I always just took all the things that I've done and that I do, I've always just kind of taken it as it comes. So as I get gigs that are, I'll still accept gigs that are dancing, and I'll still do shows, club shows and all those type of shows where I dance and all. Definitely. I definitely want to incorporate it in when I do my next tour, incorporate that again. And I definitely want to incorporate more dancing than I have in the past while I'm singing. Like doing tap dancing and doing like ballet and doing more partner work and stuff like that. But that's more for like, bigger production shows. So
she is out here, man. What the heck? Like, I thought she did. Now she's like, I need to add more. I was like, whoa, you had enough. You had enough going on the first time. But that's awesome. You said you went on tour a lot. So like, what has been like your favorite tour story? Like, do you have like a fond memory, like your favorite memory or anything?
Yeah, I have a lot of favorite memories. Actually, my very first tour was actually with one of the rock bands that I was in, and it was pretty short. We only went out for like 3 weeks, but it was like it might not be my favorite because it was definitely a little like budgeted. So
right.
But it was definitely like a super fond memory because it was like my first real tour.
Right.
And, we were in a van, like an extended van, and we had 6 members and a drummer with like a 9-piece kit. So,
sheesh.
2 guitarists, a keyboard, the drummer with his kit, and then me, which I have the least amount of stuff because most of the venues already have PA systems and microphones.
Right.
But there's times where we're like going under some bridge to like pop a squat because we can't go to the restroom like for like 40 miles and everybody ate Taco Bell and shit.
Oh no.
And I'm just buying booze, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, I feel
Sometimes when we're sleeping, I'm like laying across everybody because I'm like the smallest person. They're like, lay on top of everything. You can fit on top of everything. I'm like, I don't want to lay on top of everything. That's not comfortable.
Right? Yeah.
But it was definitely a great memory.
That's awesome.
It was super fun, super funny. Lots of hilarious things. Another tour was, of course, touring China. It was actually my favorite tours. Was touring China. Just being not only being able to perform my music for people who I didn't even know knew my music and they were singing along, but they didn't know English. That was so amazing. That like stole me. It was like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just being treated they treat you so differently as an American performer. They treated me like I was Beyonce. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, it was insane. People like sneak filming me, like on the plane, on the train.
What?
That's wild.
Yeah.
And definitely the culture shock was definitely, it was so vibrant and like liberating, and trying to learn a language while you're in the country, trying to talk to people that you can't talk to is like it's just so different.
You're like,
it was definitely so cool. Yeah.
Are you what kind of food did you eat there? What was your favorite like meal that you had there in China?
Gosh. So there was this street food that they had almost every city that I went to. They had like the little street cart, like food cart thingies. And it was like, I don't know what it was called. I don't remember how they said it, and I don't know what it is in English. And it's not any kind of situation that is an American thing, but it was made with some things that we all like know about. So they definitely use like, it was definitely really close to a Mexican tortilla, like the big flour tortillas. And they put this like sweet, spicy, like Asian sauce on it, and they break an egg into it, and like the egg into the tortilla.
Right.
And, they had like all these different ingredients that you could choose to put in it. There's like chicken and beef and all these different things, all these veggies. And that was
it. That was bomb.
That was the thing. I literally loved it so much. I was like, I'm gonna go home and make it.
Wow. She's like, I gotta learn for myself, so I don't have to come out to China to get this meal. I feel you. That's so tight.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, Tora, we appreciate you coming on the show and performing for us. That was a huge surprise for us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Where can they follow you at?
All of my social media is at Tora Woloshin. YouTube, Instagram, my website.
She's like, all of it. Just Tora. Go do it. Everybody go follow her. You're not gonna regret it. And America is coming out. The music video February 14th. Or what is it? Is it 14th? Yeah. Okay. Valentine's Day. 14th. Yeah. That's why I was like, why am I saying the 14th? Because I'm thinking Valentine's Day. Okay. So I was right. There we go. And Daniela, where can they follow you at?
At Danny World Takeover.
And you can follow us at The Lounge Takeover. You can follow me at Z__GIV. You can follow Cartel Coffee. I think it's at Cartel Coffee Lab. It's on here somewhere. Yeah, I got it right. Cartel Coffee Lab. Go follow them. They're right there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out for being a sponsor today. We appreciate it. Tora, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. You guys have a good rest of your week. We are out of here, man. Have a good Friday.